Sir. 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 I bring word of concern. I warn of the warden who awaits your return. He says he will not burn your house in turn for a secret. What? He wants the keys to where you keep it. Keep what? The map from Tanner Mine. Man of fist, but he'll calm for a small fine. And your advice, talk to the warden. Then flee before the dawn is forming.
The words brought grips to his calm of meditation, and a hesitant eye because he knows what the map means. A torn page from a volume of prophets' dreams, charting the routes through the desert to the source of the soul streams.
Go now,
He urged, with a grey face.
and ride fast. Night will soon give chase, and never rest when you run from this unholy place. Have faith. Have faith.
So he flew from the shore with the pace of worry's best, breath growing thin, scorching his chest. But he must reach the map first, thirst and fatigue, bursting through trees, falling branches and leaves, left leaping to leave, heaving and wheezing to cease or decrease pace, laced acid of an aching race, numb limbs and a burning face, churning and screaming inside, but adrenaline beats and he runs till the sun is asleep, until defeated and weak. Then he stops. The lights of the temple are large in sight. The sky's dark now, just the moon and a calm wind. The cinders of the fires and the flames of the lanterns, the shade of the shacks and the shape of the mansions. The city at night, silent, abandoned. And so he creeps through the streets to the door of his dim domicile, quiet, looks, then slips inside, to gather his possessions into a place to hide.
You lied.
Came a voice from the darkness.
No one could return with possessions of another realm. You bear a map from your battle in Tanner Mine.
Glint of a sword shine, steps from behind. It bore the body of a man, but the face of a kind of canine with dark eyes, a scarred dog samurai, and not the warden. Why? Who are you?
I am a keeper of dreams, a guide who has walked from the end of where your map leads. We must leave now. Take what you need. The warden is dead and others will soon take heed.
So they fled from the house with heads stuck low, staying close to the walls and moving in the shadow falls, past the locked doors of the dormant society, crawling with eyes of escape and adrenaline, embedded in the shaded shapes dark as melanin, creeping through the blackened drapes, armed intrepid in the nest of the city core, until they come to rest by a linteled door.
How far?
Came a whisper from his silhouette.
Further yet, but the gate has 2 guards, both armed with a staff and a scimitar.
He paused, as if watching, waiting, thinking fast, observing the gates through the shade of the grass.
The guards are armored from arm to calf. One with a scimitar, one with a staff. They're pacing past the gates, 2 torches, scorch the walls, tied to 4 horses.
The figures of the guards were of wolf-like centaurs, with emblems pressed in their chest plates' centers. The crest of the city and the sword of the rangers, made by the few who had fought the invaders. He senses danger grip the inanimate stranger, so he turns, speaking in whispers.
Stay here. Do not be seen. Only approach the scene on my signal.
And as he rose from the blackness, one guard turned, was confused at first, cursed and burst into anger. But the guide strode on calm, approaching the first with an outstretched arm. The second circled, snarling with sharp sword raised, teeth bared, fear in the mist, blood in the night, terror in twist, running in fight, the might of the mind, narrowing time, arrowing aim for the guide with sights on the samurai. But to walk on he decides, into the fight, with no sword at his side. And now they're 10 steps apart, the music of silent beats in the heart. He stared, frozen in the thickets as the guard grew closer, the second slowly edging from the left side. 3 figures in the moonlight, 4 eyes are wide, 5 steps to striking distance. Closer, closer, and then silence. Slowed motion, the samurai still as the bodies fall. A signal. And as he ran from the cover, he discovered a scene no one could imagine in the darkest dream. Burnt was the earth where grass grew before green, and the turf was awash with a raw red sheen. But the death mask guards bore no scars or slices.
It seemed blood had passed out from under the eyelids, and from the mouth and ears and the nose and sinus, an unknown method without physical violence.
We must be fast.
He barked from the gates.
Our time is limited. Danger. Make haste.
So through the walls they raced with the 2 torches, escaping the fortress, shadows of 2 forces, coursed through the darkness with sharpness of mind, from the heartless and blind to the forest where the task was to find the map at the roots of a willow tree, buried far from the city, void of the villainy.
You must find it,
he urged, arching for answers, advancing and ducking through the clasping branches.
It's buried to the east of
He
here,
replied, sincere,
but the place of the map is now my least fear.
They drew near to the willow in the heart of the trees. The spirit of the breeze seethed dark and unease. Firefly reams in the mist, fire-like guides from the torch in his fist. And so they walk and twist through the forest like spies with blinded eyes until light hit the sides of the willow tree. And so he digs and prizes the prize from inside the vines. The map was tied with 7 leather binds, which he severed with a knife, levered to his side, and sighed.
It's here.
He called to the guide, but his words met no reply. Silence. His excitement seeped into sighs of danger, arrows of anxiety, spines of fear. He heard a shift, then a hand on his shoulder.
Stay still.
Sounds on the wind, steps in the leaves, 6-figured silhouettes approaching the scene, soaked in the gloom, moving in a team, watching, listening, searching the tree.
Hide.
So hidden in the shades they watched the 6 faces. 5 were rangers with iron-spiked maces. The remaining resembled a page from the way his clothes were arranged, and he was older in age.
I swear it was buried here.
It was the page from the shoreline, bribed by the warden, lying to lure him to inform, and he'd sworn to secrecy, but easily changed by the promise of gold from his measly pay.
Stay quiet,
Whispered the guide.
But they'll kill him.
And so he digs, but he doesn't find. And he turns, and he doesn't speak. And they see, but they don't move. And then he falls, and he doesn't breathe.
Leave the body here. He's too far to be seen.
So 4 turned to leave the leaking leaves, and left one looming in the gloom of the canopy, inanimmately thinking, scratching his face. Blinking, he frowns and returns to the chase. But in the night of blindness, one thing he did see, their illuminated fire torch laid in the weeds.
I found something.
The 4 soldiers turned on the word of the first, of the torch of the samurai as it burned in the earth. Fearing the worst while immersed in the leaves, they observed the scene as the team stepped closer, closer, cloaked in the shades, eyes agaze, searching the haze with blood-soaked blades. Closer, closer, fear ablaze, heart beats in a rage of ribs in a cage. Race to escape, nearer to fate and faces clear, waiting, hoping, bracing. They're near. Show yourself. And so they rose and appeared to the piercing glares of the 5 soldiers, holders of fear.
You are to give up the map and return to be tried. We will take your head whether you are dead or alive. And know if you run, you will never survive.
And so the guide replied,
Why are you here? And whom do you seek? Profit from innocence? Or the souls of the weak? Does it deepen your conscience? Does it darken your face? Or are you stone in allegiance and frozen in place? Are you the words of the after, or subordinate clause? Do you fall to your master, like all of your hordes? Are you born of disaster? Are you gasping for more from a rotting metropolis of warsmen and whores? Have you roamed into dogma? Have you stumbled to fate? Do you know it's a parchment on which the lines you create? So is it orders accomplished in a fraudulent war, where swords are now brandished at the doors of the poor? For the souls of your soldiers are but solder and sin through the plates and the hinges, on shoulder and limb. Is it the means to an ending, the dissension of faith, or a voiceless amending in a world you create? In a world you create. In a world you create.